question for you. Were you homecoming court in high school? You strike me as a guy who's got some
absolutely
king
not.
sash ability.
No. Senior superlatives. I'll play that game with you.
Which is?
Best all around.
Obviously.
I'm not here for titles.
Speak of, best all around and a guy who knows a thing or two or three about titles and being the homecoming king. It's Steph, 7-4 back in his hometown in Charlotte. He getting all the defense, so guess what? He'll find Quentin Post, triple. Curry had 9 assists in the first half. He had 10 in this game. But he'll do what he does, hits the triple right there. Warriors up 58-49 to the team with the second worst record in the Eastern Conference. It's Curry. I mean, just catch and shoot. It's so good. We're going to miss that when he's gone. 21 points. Warriors up 75-64. Hornets down 12. LaMelo going to get his. He had 25. Now, it wasn't all good for Curry. He did say he tweaked his ankle in this game. He should be a go for the Dubs next game. That's tonight at MSG. What about Kevon Looney to Draymond Green? 16 points, 12 boards. Warriors 8-2 in their last 10 games. We're talking science after the win.
Jimmy's fit as a whole is great. Steph is one of the easiest people to build chemistry with. And Jimmy is shown to be also one of the easiest people to build chemistry with. He makes the game so much easier for everybody he's on the floor with. One thing we want Jimmy to understand is we want him being aggressive as hell. Be aggressive as hell to score the basketball.
It's still a work in progress, but I love Jimmy's fit here. I think he's perfect next to Steph and Dre, and it's showing. Obviously, I think we're 8-1 since we got him with him in the lineup. That's not by accident.
I like Draymond, the science guy.
Yeah, Draymond, the great beard.
Rules.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler has provided quite the spark to this Warriors team since being traded from the Heat since February 8th. Golden State, they're 8-2. And one of those losses came with Butler not in the lineup. Now, in that span, they are 4th in the NBA in points per game allowed, while also forcing the most turnovers.
A few months later, 2013, Curry had one of the best games of his career. There's first 50-point game of his career. 54 points, made 11 of his 13 threes. Not quite enough. The Dubs would fall 109-105. Then in 2021 at the Garden, Curry, 2,974th career made three with 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Why do we itemize all that? It broke Ray Allen's NBA record for the most career threes made. Curry heading to the Garden tonight with 3,977 career made threes. We got a certified 10 with us. Alan Hahn back with us on SportsCenter. Is this version of the Dubs, now 8-1 since they landed Jimmy Butler in that trade when he's in the lineup, are they a legitimate threat in the West, Alan?
What you said there, Randy, was when he's in the lineup. That's the key phrase with Jimmy Butler, because they are a different-looking team when he's in the lineup because he gives them that interior scoring. He also can let you stagger Steph Curry with him to make sure you always have a primary scorer on the court. And we all know they're a legitimate threat because not only is Steph Curry still that guy, Jimmy Butler, we know, playoff Jimmy, is a different guy as well. He has proven that throughout his career. So when you combine the two and what they have when it comes to playoff success, clutch ability, and all the different things that they bring as teammates, yes, very much a threat. A team that, especially in the first round, you don't want to see them because of that threat. Now, how far can they take them in the Western Conference? Can they win the West? I wouldn't go that far just yet. But they are a threat for sure, a team you don't want to play.
Okay, to that point, LeBron and the Lakers, Steph and the Dubs, who's poised to make a deeper postseason run out West?
Oh, that's easy. I'm going to go with LeBron and the Lakers with Luka Doncic. I just find their connection, and I've been talking about this on Get Up for the last week or two, or since the trade. There's something about the telepathy between these two players that is, to me, you don't normally see this when two stars team up, that right away it connects. Normally it takes an adjustment period. It does take some time. The way they feed off each other and read each other, especially when Luka has the basketball, he just has an instinct of finding LeBron James. And so now you have two great players, clutch players who can score, but also are playing already together as if they've been playing together for years. They are a dangerous team in the West.
Throwing stars together is not automatic success. Case in point, the Phoenix Suns. Alan Hahn, we appreciate
Pete, and absolutely vulnerable that they can be beaten. That's a key to remember. But one of the teams that's challenging and is headed out east to see the Celtics this weekend, the Lakers win their 6th consecutive game last night. They also are missing 2 starters. Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves were out. LeBron has 8 turnovers, although there's a brilliant chase down block. But Luka is starting to warm up, Greeny. His last couple of games, that three-pointer is starting to go. He made 5 threes last night. Those legs are starting to get a little bit more under him. And the Lakers defense continues to be impressive. Over the last 15 games, they are 3rd in the league in three-point defense. That's driven their ability to get on this number 2 seed perch in the Western Conference this morning.
Which is where they sit right now. And Windy is in L.A., and this man was in L.A. this weekend and has made it here. The great Stephen A. Smith, of course, First Take is 28 minutes away. And Windy and I have been talking about the Lakers all morning long. When this trade was made, Stephen A., everyone told me, well, the future looks incredibly bright for the Lakers, maybe even as soon as next year when they can address their deficiency as far as size. How in the world did we get from that to where all of a sudden they're the 2 seed and looking like a legitimate contender this fast?
Well, first order of business, before I answer that question, I would appreciate it if Windy, in his long diatribe next time, would acknowledge that his brother from another mother, was telling everybody the Cavs are the number 1 threat to the Boston Celtics. He just glossed over that. He just glossed over that. He forgot that I've been screaming in this ear for weeks about that. We'll get back to that later.
I think you're a fan of Donovan Mitchell, too.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Lakers, J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick's a candidate for Coach of the Year. Well, what he has done, he has been absolutely sensational as a coach over the last several weeks. When you consider, yes, LeBron is there. Yes, Luka Doncic is there. The Los Angeles Lakers are the number 1 defense over the last 6.5 weeks. I mean, who would have thought ever that would be the case? Looking at this squad, looking at how undersized their front line is, looking at Jackson Hayes at center, looking at guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt and these guys who can play and who can defend. But we didn't see this coming. In the way that he has them playing defense collectively has really, really been the unsung story in all of this, because the Lakers have gotten in people and have shut down folks when necessary. And that's where the credit is due. Offensively, obviously, they've been efficient, and we can't ignore that. But we anticipated that could happen. We didn't anticipate that we would see this defensively, and that's what the issue is.
It's interesting. I was watching all you guys out in L.A. last week, and we actually borrowed a tape from Perk. We used one of his tapes about what they're doing defensively, and Windy's been talking about it. Their strategy has been fascinating. They just pack everything into the middle, and they say, if you're going to beat us, you're going to make threes. And they are letting guys, as our old friend Jalen used to say, who are open for a reason, just throw up threes, and they don't make them. It's an interesting strategy in this NBA age where everyone wants to throw up so many threes. JJ's kind of going the other direction, and it is working.
And it's working, and not only that, just look at their coverage. They can sit up there, they'll double you in the post area, but you'll kick it out, and they'll still get out fast enough to defend and contest of an opposing three-point shot. The ability, the quickness on the perimeter is what I've noticed, Wendy. That's what really has stood out with me watching the Los Angeles Lakers. JJ knows who to use, when to use them, but most importantly, he's gotten everybody to buy in. I'm looking at Luka Doncic give defensive effort that I've never seen him give before. That says something.
Okay, let me ask you one more, and then I'm going to bring Windy back into the conversation. But because I haven't seen you in a little while here, the 2 huge acquisitions were obviously Luka in L.A. And the Butler bump, as our friend Alan Hahn keeps calling it, in Golden State. Both those teams have looked great. The superstars, LeBron and Steph, have looked rejuvenated. If I told you one of those 2 teams is going to wind up in the Western Conference Finals,
Lakers.
which one?
It would be Lakers. It would be the Lakers because of the way they're defending and the combination of Luka and LeBron. However, we can't take away the fact that Jimmy Butler has upgraded Golden State significantly. And one of the points that I brought up, and Wendy knows this because I brought it up several times, Jimmy Butler's ability to get to the free throw line, I think he was averaging like 9.3 free throws per game. Understand what that does. That spells for Steph Curry without having to take him out of the game because you're in attack mode. His usage rate is second to Steph Curry on the team, at least before the last couple of games. And him getting to the free throw line on top of all of that takes a lot of the pressure off of Steph Curry because it gives him air to breathe. And as a result, he's appearing rejuvenated, evidenced by his 30-plus point per game average since Jimmy Butler has arrived. That's what we're seeing from Golden State right now. Kuminga coming back, it'll be interesting to see how they gel once all of that happens. But Jimmy Butler has definitely been a pleasant surprise. We know what he can do individually. especially come playoff time. I just didn't think that it would be this good of a match with him and Steph Curry in a totally different kind of way. He benefits Steph Curry almost as much as Klay Thompson did. And that's what is surprising to me, and pleasantly so. So anything's possible, but I would still go with the Lakers.
So both those teams right now are looking good. Windman, let me come back to you. We talked about it, you and I did in our meeting this morning a little bit. The Suns lose again yesterday. They look just awful at the end of the game. Kevin Durant used the word embarrassing after the game was over. Their season feels hopelessly lost. What are you expecting as far as Durant is concerned? Because we've got the rejuvenation of LeBron and the rejuvenation of Steph Curry. The third all-time great of that generation is KD. What does his future look like in your view this summer?
This is actually very simple. In the current landscape in the NBA, you simply cannot have an expensive team that is bad. You're in a straitjacket. Next year,